What happens to you when you come to find out you have won the green card lottery? What steps, what do you need to do? Many people get confused. Trust me on that one. Some people make a lot of unnecessary mistakes. So, my job today is to break down to you, because I believe this year you are going to be one among the winners, and you might find out what should you do to avoid unnecessary mistakes. Things which might cost you not to be given the visa or to be late sometimes. So, stay with me. My name is Ernest Boniface Makolo, EBM, and I welcome you to the EBM Scholars Show. In case you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Subscribe to my channel and remember to share the video to your social media and tag me on your social media. I'll be happy to hear from that. So let's go step by step. You just go on your dvlottery.state.gov website on May. The date the results are out, and you have found out that you have won the green card lottery. Your entry has been selected to come to the United States of America. So what do you need to do? Usual, the first step, and I will tell you this is not the first, but the first step advised by the Department of State or the US government is to go as soon as possible, as soon as you find out you have won, to go and fill the the DSC form 260. The DS 260 is a Department of State form number 260, which is immigrant visa form. People only apply for the visa. Majority of people applying for non-immigrant visa, they form 160, DS 160, but because you are applying for immigrant visa, you are filling the form DS 260. But don't just jump and fill that form, because in that form, there is one area you need to fill. They need to have address, the host, where are you going to stay in the United States of America. So if you're going to fill that form, you can start filling the form and sign out, come back and sign in and continue filling the form. You are allowed to do that. But don't submit the form until you have one important information. So for me, number one step, before you go on to fill the form, you can just go and start filling if you want, but you cannot be able to accomplish the form until you have the address of where you are going to stay in the United States of America. Who is your host? Are you going to stay in the hotel? Are you going to find the apartment on your own? But at the end, you have to put the address where you'll be staying in USA. So that address is how you can be able to find the host. In my YouTube videos, I have put the video, how can you get a host in America? I'm not going to explain on this video, but at the end, I will put the link on how you can be able to get the host in America in case you have won the green card lottery. So the first thing, find the host, then fill the form DS 260. And remember, if you check your results and you didn't win, don't assume you can come after 2 days, the results will change. The results are final. I've made a video that the results are final. Once you check the results on day 1, day 2, day 3, next month, next whatever, the results don't change, are the final results. So if you are selected, you have won. So find a host. After getting the host, fill the form DS 260. And this is what it says from the government website. If you are selected entrants are encouraged to complete the online DS 260 application immediately to schedule an interview appointment to the appropriate US embassy or consulate. But remember, you are on your own. You don't go to create appointment. The US government will tell you later when to go for the interview, but you must fill the form DS 260, because if you fill the form DS 260, technically you just confirmed the further processing of the application. So that's number one. Secondly, you have found the place to stay, and make sure the person you are going to stay is not a criminal guy, someone who is legal to stay in the US, and better someone who a little bit has a good income or things, whatever, but I will explain in another video exactly what you need to do. But this is another point, is what we say, you need to confirm your qualifications. Remember, the qualification to join or to participate in the green card lottery are either of the two. You must have at least a minimum of high school education, In case you don't have high school education, you must have at least 2 years of work experience, which can be paid or unpaid. So whatever it is, you need to put that. So when you are filling the form DS260, don't start to say you have bachelor degree while you don't have bachelor degree. That is one important thing. So put the exact what you have and what evidences you have. So that is something you need, because those evidence you need to have them when you go for the to the interview. You need to have all those kind of things. Okay. Then from there, make sure while you are filling the DS260, assume you are engaged at the time you have won the green card lottery. Don't submit the form DS260 in case you want to get married. So get married first and submit as a couple. So don't submit the thing that I'll come to America after having a green card, then I'll file for my wife or my husband. It will take longer than expected. But if you feel before you submit the DS260, both of you will go to the US Embassy on the first day and you all get the visa at the same time. In case at the time of application, your spouse, your wife was pregnant, then the child was born after application, but the results come out, yes, you will be able to include the newborn into the application DS260. This is the very thing to be very careful. At the time of applying, if you said you don't have kids, and the kids you have at the time of application, basically they're going to deny you the visa because you lied, which is a very crucial information. But for those who have what we call traditional marriage, you don't have marriage certificate. So you can say you're still married, but go and get the certification, evidence from the government. I know some of the countries, for instance, I'm giving an example, Tanzania, if by law you stay with a woman for 6 months in the same house, that's your wife. So you need to go to the court and get evidence that this is my wife, because you have that evidence from the court of law. Because if you don't have those kind of evidences, basically you are boyfriend and girlfriend in American context. Remember, you are going to apply for the visa, but once you come here, you'll be treated in the American law. So you have to come here with someone to say this is your wife, with the documentation to prove that is your wife. Not, oh, you know, I already paid the dowry or bride price to their family. That doesn't count. And there are some countries like Kenya where, by law, men are allowed to marry more than one wife. Muslims are allowed to have more than one wife. So if you have 5, 4, 3, 2 wives, remember, we are talking about American law. American law doesn't recognize polygamy. So in the end, you will put one wife to come with in America, and the rest will not be recognized in the American court system or American legal system or American law in general. No. So those are the things you need to consider. Then make sure you start to prepare documents. You have submitted your information. You have submitted DS260. You'll be waiting. Nowadays, the KCC, which is Kentucky Consular, whatever services, whatever, they are sending you the email at one point that submit the following documentation. So the documentation, usually they are very basic, but you need to prepare these kind of documents, because some of these documents you need to have them during the interview. So these supporting documents are including the following. Yeah, so the documentation which the KCC they will require is birth certificate. So make sure that your names are on the birth certificate, on the passport they reflect date of birth, whatever those kind of things they're supposed to be there. If you have ever been to prison, you need to have prison records. If you have served in the military in your country, you need to have a military records. Police certificates or police clearance record. If you have lived in any country for more than 6 months, you need to have a police clearance record that you don't have any criminal record in that particular area. Then you need to have a passport. Obviously you have, because on the DV lottery application you have to have a passport. So they will need to have this kind of passport. On this one, when this documentation, you need also to make sure that you have all other documentation which you need to have. This will submit in KCC in email. They will ask you to submit. But in the interview, you need to have all transcript. If you said you finish high school, you have bachelor, you have masters, you have PhD, you need to have all the transcript certificates you need to have. If you said you have 2 years of working experience, you have been a manager from this organization, show the offer letter or a contract, including the official letter that this person, introductory letter, this person, Ernest Boniface Makulilo, has been working from this organization from June this year to July this year, things of that nature. It's not supposed to be written into pen, it's just supposed to be printed into the official letterhead and things of that nature. So from there, when you are being called for the interview, then the process goes from there. So once you are invited for the interview is when they will tell you to do, make sure that you go for the, you need to do medical, and then you need to prepare for the interview. So few things. I know you might ask me, how much money do I need to have in order to process this one? The following: medical usually is between $400 to $600 depending on country to country. And you don't just go to any medical doctor you want. There are medical doctors, US government will tell you, go to either of these 3-4 doctors in your country where you are. So there are medical doctors required, they are recommended, they have official documentation, official paperwork from the US government, which they will fill and they'll give you an open envelope. So don't open. So whether you are single, remember, it's just like I'm giving example, let's say 400 or 500 medical. If you are 3 people times 3, then there is application fee or visa fee. Visa fee you are paying during the interview, and the visa fee is $330 that you pay during the interview. That's another way. So if you are, even if there is a child of 1 day old, will still pay exactly amount. Still they will do the medical, things of that nature. Then after getting the visa, you pay, I think it's 210 or 220. They call it, is just like a green card fee that you pay direct to the US to activate your green card. So you can pay that one before you travel, or even after arriving in the US. You can pay that one. But those are the fees you need to be aware how much money for the processing wise. Medical police record depending country to country. Some countries is free, some countries is $5, some countries is $10, but I've never seen a country more than $20 to get a police clearance record form. So that will be a little bit easier for you. So those are how much money you need to have to process. But how much money do you need to have in order to come here and to start? It depends on the host you are having, what are the arrangements you are having with your host. Is the arrangement with your host, you need to be paying apartment, rent fee, or you're going to stay there for 3 months maybe, then you start paying. It depends on how arrangement is. But if you have at least 5,000, that will be started. It depends. You come with a single, you come with a family, all those factors will depend. Yeah, if you're coming with a person you know, a relative or person you know, say, okay, you can stay here for 2 months for free, obviously you'll come very small amount of money. You can come with even 500 and it will be okay. But if you are going to a place, someone say from day one, you start paying for the rent, obviously you need to have more money. You come with a kid, obviously it will be a little bit different. So those are some of the things you need to consider when the results are out. The day you find out you have won, these are the things you need to follow. And make sure that you don't wait too long to fill the form DS 260. It is a first come, first served basis. And again, it will depend on your case number when you will be invited for the interview. If your number maybe is less than 10,000, obviously within the first 2 months, you will be called for the interview. But if your number is almost 40,000, you will wait a little bit longer. So case number is the one determining when you'll be able to be invited for the interview. And that is also reflected in what they call visa bulletin. I'll make a video about visa bulletin, how to read the visa bulletin, and how to determine when or to project when you'll be invited for the visa interview. So, any question up to that moment? Remember to put it in the comment below. Sorry guys, I was not being able to answer most of the questions or most of the comments because I was traveling. So I'm back. I'll be able to go back and respond to most of the comments you have been able to do. My apologies everyone. So thank you everyone for your continued support into my YouTube channel everyone. Remember to share the video, and if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Thank you for your continued support, everyone. This is EBM Ernest Professor Makulilo from EBM Scholars. Goodbye, everyone.